Hey guys, it's me, Desi Arnaz, professional investor, and today I'm going to be talking with you guys, reintroducing you guys to my program. It's called Note Investing for Newbies. I'm excited to be bringing this back to you guys again live on Facebook and on YouTube. So, every Tuesday we're planning to do this live, and we'll be doing it for about 30 minutes, and I'll be talking about all things notes and how to create cash flow from mortgage notes. And so it's for those of you guys that have some experience and for those of you that are brand new. I call it Note Investing for Newbies, but we're going to cover lots of topics. Some are going to be a little more advanced than others. Some will be basic. I will from time to time be bringing guests onto the program to answer questions and to talk to you guys. So I just wanted you guys to just kind of have a heads up on what's going to be going on as we do delve into this exciting space called note investing. So I'm looking forward to sharing this information with you guys as we go forward. All right, as I said, the show is a Note Investing for Newbies show. Note Investing for Newbies. I started this program maybe a year and a half ago, during COVID, and then I kind of fell away. But I wanted to bring it back because I've had so many people asking me if there's a place that they can kind of learn some of the basics about note investing, and other than like YouTube. And so I thought, okay, yeah, I can teach that right here on this program. Happy to teach this. As a matter of fact, it's one of my favorite topics. Love talking about note investing. And so for me, to teach new people about how to invest in mortgage notes means a lot. So let me just see something here. See if I've got my chat open over here. There we go. How you guys doing out there? If you want to hit me up in the chat, let me know who's on with me today. That would be cool. I would appreciate that. We're on Facebook right now, and we're also on YouTube live. And you'll be able to watch, of course, the replays or share the replays. I would ask you guys to do that. Like and share. I really would appreciate that so that I can get some traction under this program. And every Tuesday at 2:30 p.m. Pacific, 5:30 p.m. Eastern, I'll be hosting this show. We'll be bringing on special guest speakers from time to time to talk to you guys about note investing. I will be sharing insights with you guys about note investing. Our goal here is to give you a place where you can learn how to create passive income from real estate without actually owning the real estate. So that's the goal, right? You can create passive income from real estate without actually owning the real estate. You see, I'm a believer now that you should be buying some paper. Now, if you want to own bricks and sticks, that's fine, but I don't buy bricks and sticks anymore. I invest in paper. I believe that even if you are a traditional real estate investor, you should also be adding paper into your investment portfolio. And over time, as we go through these, as we have our show, if you guys are tuning in, you're going to learn some of the really powerful techniques and reasons why I say that. Okay, it's not just me talking, it's actually to your financial advantage to have this paper in your portfolio. So, hey guys, I want to thank you all for coming on. Hopefully you guys can hear me right now. I see we've got several people on here, and I'm happy to have you guys on here with me. And so here's what I'm going to do. Since this is note investing for newbies, I know that a lot of people don't really know what note investing is. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a few minutes right now at the beginning of the top of the show, and I'm going to share with you guys what note investing is. And then from there, we'll talk a little bit more about today's topic, which is comparing real estate investing to note investing. I'm going to lay it out for you the way that I saw it when I looked at this back in 2013, and I saw it. And I had been a real estate investor at that point for more than 30 years. And when I saw this, I thought, okay, I can see why notes might make sense for me as an investor. And who knows, maybe you'll see that too as you take a look at our at what we have to offer and the information we're going to be sharing with you guys. Again, I want to ask you guys to like and share, if you don't mind. Like and share, like my my Facebook post, and then share this video and this live. Invite your friends to come onto the live. If a person were to take this seriously, as I've seen many people do, take the note investing space seriously, it doesn't take very long to become wealthy. I can tell you, you can certainly do it in 5 years. You can do it like I did in just a couple of years, if you want to just dive in with both feet. So we're going to be talking about how I did it and talking about how to do that. I see we got a couple of folks on here today. Thank you all so much for popping in here. I do appreciate you guys coming in and sharing with me today. We got Roland. Hello from Virginia. Hey, I'm doing some business on the East Coast right now. Roland, I don't normally do business in the Northeast, but I've got something going right now up in New Jersey. I know it's a little further than where you are, but I've got some things going up in New Jersey right now. A fellow today, hopefully, will be giving me back a property up there. Um, I owned the mortgage on his house, and he can't afford the payment anymore. And so rather than having a foreclosure on his credit, he is planning to just give me the real estate. And so at that point, I'll put it up for sale. I mean, I can do anything I want to do with it. So let me just start by telling you guys what note investing is, in case you don't know what note investing is. After all, this is the Note Investing for Newbies show. So I'm going to make an assumption that some of you guys are brand new to note investing. So here's what it is. A note is basically an IOU. It's a promise to pay. That's what a note is in the way that we use it. And the type of notes that I invest in and that I talk about investing in are called mortgage notes. And that's because there's a mortgage which secures these notes. Now, if you're brand new to this space, let me explain what that means. If you've ever purchased a piece of real estate and you didn't pay cash, that means then that you had to borrow the money from someplace. And when you borrowed the money from that lender had you sign some documents. The two most important documents that the lender would have had you sign would have been a promissory note and then some sort of a collateral document like a mortgage, which basically says, hey, if I default on the note, you can take my real estate. That's what a mortgage says. Okay. People often say, well, the bank gave me a mortgage. The truth is, the bank doesn't give you a mortgage. The bank gives you a loan and you give the bank a mortgage. And your mortgage that you give the bank basically says, if I don't pay you back, you can take my house. That's what a mortgage does. And so when I say we're buying a promissory note, we're actually buying the promissory note and the mortgage. So we don't just buy one without the other. We don't buy what's called unsecured debt. So a promissory note is an IOU. And when someone owes you money, it doesn't matter whether it's real estate or car or if it's your crazy Uncle Joe, right? You loan him some money. If he signs something to say, I'll pay you back, then that's a promissory note. Every time you write a check, that is a promise from you that money is in the bank, right? That's a promissory note. So we're all surrounded by notes. Don't make more of note investing than what it is. It is something that you're already doing. As a matter of fact, if you were to take a dollar bill out of your wallet and look at it today, you'll see right on there, right on the dollar bill, or in my case here, here's a dollar. It says Federal Reserve Note right at the very top of your money. It is literally a note that was given to you by the government backing that paper. And so we're already doing paper deals, guys. That's what I want you to understand. So let's not make this all mysterious and seem overwhelming. You're already in the note. You're already doing note deals. And what I'm going to show you is how to do note deals specifically on real estate so that you can create passive income for yourself and for your family. And that passive income can last a lifetime. You can pass it on to your children. They can receive the passive income, and it can go on and on and on. And so that's what we're talking about today. All right. Yep. So I see Anthony says here, yeah, you're right, Anthony. Dollar bills are notes. Yes, they are. They are notes. It's a note from the government to us. And so we're all around, notes are everywhere. Cool. So let me show you guys something here. Okay. I'm going to talk a little bit today about notes versus real estate. But before I do, I want to tell you guys that that our program today is brought to you by the Note Investor University. So if you want to learn about note investing from in a more formal setting, you can actually sign up for our training program. It's called, we call it right now the Millionaire Maker Coaching Program, because we actually coach and train. It is a monthly subscription. You can cancel anytime. It's very affordable. We've made it very affordable so that we can help more people. And so you guys can head on over to my website, which is investbrilliantly.com. And at investbrilliantly.com, you'll be able to sign up. First of all, there's a ton of free information there. But if you also want to learn more stuff about note investing, you can just go to investbrilliantly.com. You can watch all my free stuff, take advantage of all the free content that I give. And then if you want to have some real formal training, there's a button there that says something about the Note Investor University. You can just click on that button, learn more. If you like what you see, sign up, guys. Sign up to become one of our students and partners, because we do deals with our students. And so sign up to become one of our students and partners, and let us help you get your first note deal under your belt. Happy to do it, guys. Happy to do it. All right, so I'm going to be talking today about note investing versus real estate investing. Real briefly, here's something that I want you to think about. When you're a note investor, you are the bank to that homeowner. You are literally their bank, okay? But when you're a real estate investor, you're the landlord. So let's take a look at what a real estate investor has to do just to be a real estate investor. I used to be one, so I totally understand this. And if there's any real estate investors on here, you can let me know that you are or were a real estate investor, and you can let me know if you think I've got this dialed in, what I'm about to share with you guys. So if you want to be a real estate investor, the first thing that you need to do is you need to learn some techniques, right? I mean, if you're going to be a rehabber, you need to learn how to rehab. I've seen guys who think they can rehab and they go out and they buy a piece of property and they lose their shirts, right? That happens. You need to learn whatever skill it is. If you're going to be doing short sales, if you're going to be doing property management, auction, you're going to be an auctioneer, whatever, you need to learn that skill. So that's the first thing. As a real estate investor, you also need to start spending money on marketing. Real estate investors have to find deals. They're always on the hunt, right? Always on the hunt. Sharon says, yes, I am an aspiring investor. I'm assuming that you're aspiring to become a note investor, at least after today's show. Hopefully you'll be aspiring, Sharon, to become a note investor. You can also do real estate deals. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying don't do real estate deals. I'm just going to compare the two today. So as a real estate investor, yes, you need to spend money on marketing. But in addition to that, you also have to deal with the sellers and the realtors and the buyers and the tenants and the contractors and the inspectors, right? I mean, you have to deal with all this stuff because you are the owner of that real estate. You're the owner of the real estate. So as the owner of that real estate, you got to deal with all that stuff. You've also got to write offers, a lot of offers. Back in the day when I was buying a lot of real estate, I would write 10 to 20 offers in a day, just making blanket offers on properties all over the place. And I would have these forms, they're already set up as templates. All I'd have to do is go in and change the address and the price and a few other items, and I was good to go with my offers. And so I would just blanket, and hopefully some of those offers would get accepted. And of course, some do, most don't. But it's still very time consuming to write a bunch of offers. Also, as a real estate investor, you've got to deal with the lenders. Unless you have deep pockets at all cash, you're going to be borrowing money to buy real estate. And so you've got to qualify. You've got to go through that whole process of getting approved and then funding that deal. So you got to deal with the lenders. As I mentioned, qualifying for financing. And then you got to secure the property. Once you own that property, now you've got to do something with it, right? It's yours. Let's say the financing goes through, it's yours. You got to do something with it. You're going to have to make some repairs. In most cases, you may have to do some upgrades or something. And then you got to find tenants. How do you find tenants? You got to market for tenants. Maybe hire yourself a real estate agent to help you find tenants, property manager, somebody like that. But you got to deal with all that stuff. And you got to handle all the problems that come up because it's your property. That was always a big old hassle for me. I had 28 rentals at one point. I don't have any rentals right now, and I don't want any more rentals. But, you know, hey, I'm 69 years old, so I don't want to be that guy anymore. I like the cash flow. I don't need to have the property. I don't need to be able to drive my friends by and say, hey, that's my 6-unit building there. That used to be my big thing. Now, I don't even care about that. I look and say, hey, I've got money coming off that 6-unit and that 12-unit and that apartment complex and that condo, but I don't own them. I just get paid from them. I like that. But I don't have to handle any of the problems. And this is also the thing that I want you to keep in mind. When you are the real estate investor and you sell your real estate, you're the last one paid. Everybody else gets paid first. Who's first to be paid? It's going to be the lender, right? And then after that, you're going to pay your realtor, you're going to pay your appraisers, you're going to pay your inspectors, you're going to pay everybody else. And if there's any money left, then you, as the investor, gets paid. That's how that works. Now let's take a look at the note investor side. A note investor basically is a person who buys the mortgage and the note on the real estate instead of buying the real estate. And so we approach the bank. We don't approach the homeowner. The homeowner can sell us the real estate, but the homeowner cannot sell us their mortgage. They don't own it. The bank owns the mortgage. So we approach the bank and we say, we would like to buy that mortgage on that property. And if the bank is open to selling it, we'll negotiate a price to buy it. And you're going to learn how we do that if you continue to tune into our program every Tuesday at 2:30 Pacific. But we will negotiate with the bank, and the bank will work with us and sell us that note. Once we own that mortgage and that note, then we reach out to the homeowner and we talk to them through our loan servicer. So let's just take a look at here's what you got to do to become a real estate note investor. The first thing you want to do is you want to start to think like a lender, because you're no longer a landlord. You're not a property flipper. You are the lender. You are the bank to that property owner. Banks think like this. Lenders think like this. Let's minimize risk. Let's maximize return. That's what they're all about. How many of you think that maximizing return and minimizing risk makes sense? Right? I hope that you do, because it is a big way. It is the name of the game. I didn't get that for a long, long time. I didn't get that. But I'm telling you now, you want to maximize your returns. Don't worry about the dollars. Look at the percentages. Are you making 10% on your money? 12%? 15? 20? Look at that, because every dollar earns that amount of money. Every dollar that you have in your investment earns that amount of money. So Sharon says, yes, that's what I'm trying to do. Yeah, Sharon. Well, you know what, Sharon? That's the name of the game. When you are a note investor, you're in the money business. You're not in the real estate business. And I'm here to tell you guys personally that the money is in the money business. We're going to talk about that in an upcoming episode. But today, I just want to go through just comparing real estate investor to note investor. So the first thing you need to do is think like a lender. There's no marketing to go find deals when you are a note investor. Notes are traded on a regular basis between lending institutions and lending entities. All you've got to do is be in the circle. And we teach people how to get into the circle, right? You don't have to deal with any sellers or realtors or buyers or tenants or contractors. That's not your thing. You don't have to write 1,000 offers. You're going to negotiate with some bank or some lender to take their position, but you don't have to go out and write 1,000 offers. Most of the time when you're looking at notes from these institutions, they don't just send you one note. They'll send you a dozen, even 50 or 100, and say, hey, pick something off the list. What do you like? Okay. You're dealing with highly motivated borrowers. The people that are living in the houses, this is their home in many cases, and they don't want to lose their house. Unlike a tenant who's like, hey, this isn't my house. They'll just move on and find someplace else to rent. This is these people's homes, right? With mortgage note investing, you don't have to qualify for financing. We show people how to finance their mortgage notes that they invest in, and how to do so without a credit check or qualifying for financing at all. It can be done. I do it all the time. Our students do it all the time. We show people how to do that. You don't have to deal with any property issues. Think about it. If you own a house right now and your toilet starts leaking, are you going to call the bank that financed the property and say, hey, my toilet's leaking? It's almost funny to think about it, isn't it? There's no way. I mean, you wouldn't call the bank. No, you call a plumber. or call the landlord if it's not your place, right? But you don't call the bank. You see, when we are in the note space, we are the bank, guys. So we don't get those calls. We don't have to deal with repairs or renovations or toilets or tenants or termite. We don't have to deal with the problems, literally. And if that property goes into foreclosure, or if the people sell that property, guess who's the first one to get paid? Not the last. We are the first ones to get paid. If there's any money left, everybody else gets paid. But as the lender, we get paid first. Every dime that we are owed, every dime, every late charge, every single penny goes to us. I like to see it this way. The real power in real estate is the lender. The real power in real estate is the lender, okay? Not the property owner. Let's take a look at this right now. I want to share this with you guys. If you are, sorry, I wasn't sharing my screen all this time. If you are a real estate investor and you have a mortgage on your property, there's two incomes that come from that real estate. Here's what I want you guys to know. The first income that comes from that real estate is rent. If you're any landlords on here, do I have any landlords watching me right now? If you're a landlord and you collect the rent, what do you have to do with that money, assuming you have a mortgage? First thing you need to do is you need to pay your mortgage, right? You need to pay your taxes. You need to pay your insurance. You need to pay management fees if you have a property manager. You need to set aside some money for vacancies. You need to deal with maintenance and repairs. You need to make improvements. You need to make upgrades from time to time. You need to provide security for your investment, right? You need to sometimes even cover some utilities. Depending on your rental agreements, you may have to cover some utilities. So think about that for a minute versus being the bank. Now, as the bank, the note investor, we collect interest income. And what comes out of our interest income? Certainly the mortgage payment doesn't. We own the mortgage, right? We don't have to pay the taxes. We don't have to pay the insurance. None of that comes out of our money. What comes out of our money is this. If we want to hire a professional company to do the loan servicing for us, we'll pay a servicing fee monthly. And a typical servicing fee is anywhere from 15 to 30 bucks a month for each mortgage. So it's very inexpensive. And then the loan servicer deals with the borrower. The loan servicer sends out the monthly statement to the borrower, sends out the 1099 at the end of the year, takes the phone calls from the borrower. I mean, it's so passive, guys. It's so passive, but it's so profitable. And that's why I love it. Okay, that's why I love it. So let me share this with you guys. If you're going to be collecting cash flow from real estate, why not collect interest income rather than rental income? I'm not saying one is bad, because rental income is good. I collected rental income for 33 years. I collected rental income. It's a good thing, but there's a better way. I never understood that before 2013. But once I did see it, I decided I was moving over that way because it just makes more sense. Okay, so if you own the paper, your investment is protected by collateral. You profit from real estate without owning the real estate. You don't have to make repairs or renovations, no tenants, no toilets, no termites. You don't have to do any marketing to find deals. You don't have to deal with any buyers or sellers or appraisers or inspectors. You don't have to write any offers. You don't have to qualify for any mortgages. You don't have to pay property taxes or insurance on the property. You don't have to deal with monthly cash. You get paid a monthly cash flow from your investments. You can flip these notes, make a fast profit if you want to, just like you can flip a piece of real estate. I've certainly flipped plenty of notes where I'll just make a quick 2,000, 5,000, 8,000. I've made as much as 15,000 flipping notes, just flipping it to a different investor. You can do that just like you can flip a house, except it only takes about a week to flip a note. And it's very little paperwork, very little paperwork. So that's a big deal. Unlike trying to flip a house, there's a lot of paperwork and it could take months. And you can also build in upfront profits with notes if you understand how to structure this stuff properly, guys. And you have equity in your notes. And you also have the collateral. You always have something you can take away. Collateral is something you can take away if you don't get your money back, right? And so with mortgage notes, you can take away the real estate if you don't get your money back. And I invest in first lien positions. Let me just share this with you guys as I wrap this up. When you invest in a mortgage note, there's three potential outcomes. Three things that could happen. I'm going to share those with you here, but before I do, I want to just remind you guys that if you want to learn how to invest in mortgage notes, today our program is brought to you by the Note Investor University, where you can learn how to create a passive income for yourself and for your family that'll last a lifetime by investing in mortgage notes, starting with little or no money. So you can learn that at the Note Investor University. To get to the Note Investor University, you'll want to go to my website. My website is investbrilliantly.com. And at my website, investbrilliantly.com, you can download or look. You can download, first of all, we have a free course that you can download in there. It's called Note Investing for Newbies. It's a 10-part training series for people that are brand new. You can download that. But in addition to that, I have lots of other free information on there. If you decide you want to go deeper and you want to have your hand held and be trained and coached, then you can join our Note Investor University. You'll see the button right on there to join the Note Investor University. And at the university, you will have myself and our team to teach you how to invest in mortgage notes using your own money, using other people's money, how to do this in a way that you can create literally passive income that will last your lifetime, and how you can become wealthy in 3 to 5 years as a note investor, just owning the paper, not even owning the real estate. So let me share this with you. Look like I'm running out of juice here. Let me share this with you. I'll plug in the battery first. My laptop. There we go. Okay. The three possible outcomes that will happen when you own a note. Either people are going to pay you like they're supposed to, or they're going to pay you off early, or they're not going to pay you at all. That's pretty much what happens when you loan people money. They're going to pay you back like they said. They're going to give it back to you earlier, or they're not going to pay you. Right? Those are the three things. So here's what happens in each of those scenarios with a mortgage note. If the people pay you back like they're supposed to, then this is scenario outcome number one. So here's a note that I'm going to walk you through over the next 5 minutes, and I'm going to show you how this would play out. This is a note on a house in Akron, Ohio, a little $60,000 house at the time. This is like from 2014. A little $60,000 house. That was the market value, according to the local real estate agent. At that time, the homeowner owed about $48,000 on the mortgage. Now that means they had about $12,000 in equity, the difference between the market value and the balance, right? They had about $12,000 in equity, which is 20%. And, you know, people care about their equity. So these people have a high motivation to make their payment, first of all, because they have equity in the real estate. Plus, it's their home. Their monthly payment is $494, and we were able to buy this $48,000 mortgage for $39,000. Now, I won't get into it today, but we buy mortgages at a discount. So if a person owes $48,000, we don't pay $48,000 for the mortgage. We get it for less than that. And so that's what I just want you guys to understand about how this stuff works. Okay? So now, if these people pay like they're supposed to, there were 10 years remaining on the mortgage, they would pay $494 a month for 10 years. Okay? You do the math, $494 times 10 years of payments is $59,280. Excuse me. So in that scenario, my $39,000 would have grown to $59,000 in 10 years. That works out to be a 9% per year rate of return. 9%. What are banks paying right now? 1/2 of 1%, 1/4 of 1%. Wow. 9% right there. That's not bad. But maybe these people will pay off early. Sometimes people sell their homes, don't they? Or they refinance and pay off the existing mortgage. Either way, if I own the mortgage, this is how that might look. Now, obviously, we never know when a person is going to sell their home. But let's just say in my example, 5 years in, these folks decide to sell their mortgage. Sell their home. and pay off their mortgage. So 5 years in, they would have already made 60 payments of $494. Do simple math, and you'll see that comes to $29,640. However, we know that mortgages are primarily front loaded with what? Interest, right? Interest. So after making 5 years of payments, these people would still owe $29,595. That's their balance at that point. So you add that to the 26,595. You add that to the 29,640 that they've already paid. And as an investor who owns the note, I would have collected 56,235 in 5 years on a $39,000 investment. You punch that into your financial calculator and you come to realize, wow, I've earned 11% per year with this investment. Now that's not bad. 11% is a lot better than 9%, right? That's not bad at all. But here's what everybody's always worried about. Everybody's always worried about, what if they don't pay? And so I'm just going to show you guys what happens in that scenario, because that could happen, right? Maybe they're making payments every month and then all of a sudden they lose their jobs or they get a divorce or someone dies or whatever. But at the end of the day, they stop making payments. Now, again, we never know when that might happen. And so in my scenario, I'm going to say, let's say we're 5 years in and then they stop making payments. So they've already paid $29,640 in 5 years. But now when they stop making payments, I, as the lender, can do the same thing Bank of America would do if they stop paying their mortgage to B of A. I can take the real estate. And so I take the real estate back and then I sell it, right? Now remember, the realtor said the place was worth $60,000 5 years earlier. Maybe it's more today, maybe it's less, who knows? But let's just say it's still worth 60. Out of that 60, I've got to pay my real estate agent, I've got to pay my attorney for handling the foreclosure. So let's say I walk out of that with $51,000 from the sale. Now, remember, I've already collected $29,000. Now I'm going to collect another $51,000. So you put all those numbers into your calculator, you'll see that all total in 5.5 years or so, I will have collected $80,600. And that works out to be a 17% yield on my money, 17% ROI. Now you know why banks don't flip houses. I mean, if you can earn, and by the way, this is really kind of a conservative number. I have seen much bigger returns on this when we foreclose, right? Suppose this house was worth 100,000 instead of 60. Can you imagine what that would do to our returns? I've seen really big returns in the foreclosure situation. So here's how it works. The 3 potential outcomes. They pay as they're supposed to. In this example, we get 9%. They pay us early. In this example, we get 11. They don't pay us. In this example, we get 17. Anything wrong with that? Is there anything wrong with that scenario? There you guys. You guys should be sharing this on Facebook, liking it, subscribing to my YouTube channel, because I'm going to be talking about how you guys can literally step into these kinds of deals. And by the way, this is only a $39,000 deal, but we have all types of deals. I mean, if there's a mortgage on it, you can invest in it if you have the money, right? I can tell you, I see mortgages on office buildings. I see mortgages on shopping centers. I see mortgages on condos, townhomes, large apartment complexes. I see mortgages on all kinds of stuff that we can buy and invest in. And so it doesn't really matter. I just showed you this little example. But if you have a lot of money, you have millions of dollars to invest, then we buy mortgages on bigger projects. That's it, right? Or you can buy more mortgages if you want smaller projects. So I just want you to realize that. So there you go, guys. This is really a great investment strategy, investing in mortgage notes. And so what I'm going to encourage you guys to do is to get yourself trained. You need to understand the space. So you can head over to investbrilliantly.com. Over there, my website, I have a lot of free stuff there, as I said earlier. You can get yourself trained and you can start to understand this space in a way so that you can start to create some profits for yourself. There's plenty of money in the mortgage note business. You don't need to be a landlord to get rich in real estate. Once you become the lender, you'll start to understand why banks don't flip houses. You'll start to understand why banks don't buy rental properties. I mean, banks have all the money. Why aren't they buying up these big apartment complexes? I'll tell you why. Because they can control the apartment complexes by lending on it and not have to own it. And if they don't get their money back with interest, they get the real estate anyway. I have a commercial building down in Florida right now that I got back because the person that owned the trucking company didn't pay the payments. Now I own a commercial building down in Melbourne, Florida. I never wanted a building down in Melbourne, Florida, but I'm just going to give it to a real estate agent and let them sell it for me, and I'll put the profits in my pocket. So guys, that's a pretty good way to invest your money. I see here that Eva says, hey, I have an interest. I'm glad to see that you have an interest. And you can reach out to me also through my website. If you go to investbrilliantly.com, there's a place there that you can actually book an appointment with me if you'd like to do that. All right. I've got Roland here. He says, hey, I've watched the free videos on the notes and need to take the next step. Do you still take phone calls? Yes, I do. I'll give you my phone number right here, right now. I'll stick it into the chat for you guys that are interested in it. But it's a 951-551-0087. 951-551-0087. That is my phone number. Okay, and I'm Desi Arnaz. So yeah, I'm happy to talk to you about what it is that we do and how we can help you accomplish some pretty amazing things in your life. And then one last thing that I want to wrap this up with, because for me, it's a personal passion. And that is, once you guys understand how to do this, you need to teach it to the next generation. If you have children, teach it to them. Show them how money works, because they don't learn it in school. I went to college. I didn't learn how money works. I didn't learn how to become wealthy in college. I became wealthy by learning things like this. This is how it's done. So I just ask all of my people that I'm mentoring and teaching, please find somebody in the next generation that you can take under your wing and show them how they can get out of financial bondage, the financial bondage that many Americans live under. We don't have to live that way, guys. I'm telling you right now, you don't have to live that way. You can change things. Is it get rich quick? No. If you're looking for the easy button to get rich quick, this is not it. But if you say to me, hey, if I put my head down and I go to work for 24 months, what will my life look like? I can tell you this. If you put your head down and do the things that I teach you, and you go to work and do what I teach you for 24 months, your life is going to look like you're a wealthy person, because you will be. I've run into more wealthy people in the money business than I ever ran into in the real estate business, ever, by far. And they have better lives because they're not dealing with tenants and toilets and trash. They have better lives. And so I want to encourage you guys, study the note space. Join me next Tuesday. I'm going to be going over some more things Tuesday at 2:30 Pacific. It'll be Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And I will be sharing more information with you guys. You're going to get a ton of free information from this training, this podcast. Okay. Note investing for newbies. So I just want to encourage you guys to, tell your friends about it. I think it's a good thing. And I know it's life-changing for those people that are serious about it and want to do something. All right. So there you go, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this today. Nolan's, okay, let me remove this from Nolan. There we go. Note investing for newbies. That's my show every Tuesday at 2:30 Pacific, 5:30 Eastern. And I hope to see you guys here next week. My phone number is in the chat. If you want to give me a call, feel free to do that. I love to talk with you guys. I'm in California, so kind of pay attention to the time zones, okay? God bless you all. I'll see you all next week.